did we get in this show? A lot of content. And at the end of this review, I'm sure a lot of people are not 100% going to be happy about what was on this show in one respect, but I'm going to defend it. I'm saying it. I'm defending what is written below. So let's go through this. Let's go through... I want to get this done first. I know when Andre Corbell, he is a guy I do respect. And he is right. I have said, and this is for a person like me, that I'm not like a hardcore fan, but I'm not a casual either. I can see what's going on. And when it comes to the triangle of... Look, I still don't like when it comes to Joe Henry, when it comes to Katarina, and when it comes to Guido. I don't like it. But I am not going to say that no one should watch it. That is my mistake, and I'm going to own it. I kept saying it's wrong. But you know what? As Andre did remind me, there's going to be people that are casual going to like it. And he's correct. So I do apologize to casual fans who do like this angle. I personally don't like it. Because I would rather see... Look, you can do something with Joe Henry and you can do something with Katarina. When it comes to Guido, make him a manager. Make him a manager that wrestles seldomly. I will be fine with it. As it stands, as a wrestler, he just doesn't interest me. And I think he's really taking away from somebody else. But for other people, they'll like it. And I will say this. If they're going in the direction with... I don't know if they're going there. But if they're going in the direction I believe they're going in, when it comes to Scarlett Bordeaux, when it comes to Joe, Guido, and Katarina, I will be all for it. Now, let me elaborate. When it comes to Katarina versus Alisa, that's Eddie's wife, I'm not a big Alisa fan. She hasn't been on the show enough. And as it stands, she's not that great of a wrestler right now. I don't know how long she's been in the business. Maybe 2-3 years. I think she's still very green. She just isn't that great. And you got Katarina Winter, the gorgeous Brit, if she's British. The woman can wrestle. The woman can do a promo. The woman can do a story. And seeing her going up against Alicia, I'm going like, why are they doing this? And I thought, Guido's got to come out. Joe's got to come out. And they do. Guess what happened? Joe says, I'm doing a video to show how I feel about you, Katarina. Access denied is in my face. Access denied. And I'm going like, you know what? That is funny. That is funny. But it's got to lead somewhere. By the time it was all done, and Guido put in his 2 cents, which I didn't really feel like that was the wisest thing to do. Him repeating access denied, access denied, access denied. I think it took away from that segment. He could have done something else. He could have seen, this is what you get, last. This is what you get away from me. You get the disrespect of Joe Henry, my best friend. I think that would have been better for Guido. That would have been better. Then Alicia wins and gets over on Katarina. Now, what does this mean? Well, I'm seeing it in disrespect because of the ending of the show. And I will elaborate that with Falaba and Austin Aries later. But if I'm correct about this angle, it will make some sense when you got the vixen versus a pure woman, the pure lady in a Katarina. I'll elaborate later. Now, you have the Lucha Brothers go up against the Cult of Lee. Now, it was plain. It wasn't a bad match, but it was plain. There was no real interference or anything. Not until afterward did OVE talk, saying they want to challenge them one more time. And then one of the brothers, I think it was Dave Chris, in the back with the beard, the mustache, the one in my face, he really didn't seem to be into it. Sorry for the noise, this is pretty late. He really didn't feel like he was into this. He didn't want to do any of this. But he went along with it once they went for Ohio, by Ohio, and we're going after everything. I just felt like maybe they could have came out and said that instead of doing on a Titantron. That's just me. Doesn't mean it was bad. It doesn't mean the Cult of Lee going against the Lucha Brothers is a bad match. It was okay. Phoenix did a much better job than he did when he was at All In. honestly, Phoenix was botching it all in. That's how I felt about it. And I'm surprised that Phoenix botched as much as he did. But let's move on. We had okay. When it comes down to the video interviews with Allie and Tessa Blanchard, because when it came down to it, you did not see Kiera Hogan. I just feel it's an afterthought here. Look, I did say this to one of my subscribers. I really feel, no wait, I'll wait until I talk about Tessa Blanchard. When it came to Allie, I'm okay with what she said. I am. When she said, I'm not after the championship, I just want to stop Su Yung. Fine. Now, when it came after Tessa, I really did believe that the problem last week with Tessa Blanchard not being more disorientated and having Kiera and Allie help her more before she finally snapped out of it, surprised, and then said what she said was a missed opportunity. I think she could have been more confused. That's what should have happened. But her being surprised is understandable. And it's understandable. And her saying, you're just after my title, is understandable. What she said in this interview was understandable. I do agree with it, and I thought she did well. But I'm going to be honest here, and I know a lot of people don't agree with me. I understand. I'm seeing this from a point of view as a long-term thing, not a short-term. When it comes to Tessa Blanchard, she's being rushed. And I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me. They're going to say, no, she's not being rushed. And I know one of my subscribers said she's the alpha and omega. She's better than Charlotte. Now, as I said in a comment, whoever can adapt to a new wrestler is going to be better than Charlotte, period. And I'm not joshing on Charlotte. She does have some ability. But let's be honest. Honest is honest. Tessa Blanchard has ability. But she's being rushed like Charlotte was. Like Charlotte has been. And has been promoted like Charlotte. At least as it stands now. Now, maybe next year they'll understand what they're doing and they'll ease off on her, which I really hope they do. I want to see Tessa Blanchard be promoted properly. And I know not people are going to understand this or even believe me or even care. But I'm someone who cares about seeing talent in the future. Okay? I may still have my qualms with her. Like something just still seems to be off. And I think it's just inexperience. That's what's getting me. And then pushing her the way it is makes it more obvious to me that she's still rushed and not completely experienced. It doesn't matter if she's better than Charlotte, who is basically the one who's getting more than any freaking person on WWE as a woman. If you really want this person to get over, you really want this person to have a long-term future, you really want this person to get really well established and be respected, not being told, well, that's Tully Blanchard's daughter, she's being fucking pushed. Who gives a fuck? You want her to earn her own credit. And that's why I feel like she's being rushed. And the person who should have gotten the title, and I know you guys are not going to agree with me, could have been Kiera. Kiera Hogan had been in the company longer than her. Kiera Hogan has been in some storylines. And Kiera Hogan has been dropped for many reasons. And there's never been anything clear about it. And I believe that Kiera Hogan could have held that title for a little bit, be an interim champion, and then eventually could easily drop it to Tessa. Give Tessa something to work with. Tessa doesn't have that much challenge on the show. Look, how many women is Tessa working with? Huh? Su Yung, Allie, Kiera Hogan. We don't have Rosemary back yet. She's not back yet. So, they're not showing the other women if they're still on the roster. So, what do you exactly got? You can't keep doing this with just Su Yung. And with Allie, you're going to have to use Kiera in some capacity. Let her be an interim champion. That's the way I saw it and should have been. But both interviews were done very well. And that took longer than I wanted. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's move on. Excuse me. what did we exactly get when it came to Brian Cage and Congo Kong? I was very surprised that there was no Jimmy Jacob yet. It was Congo Kong by himself. And then they had a very physical match, which, shockingly enough, was actually not that bad. It was very physical. You're seeing Congo Kong slingshot himself off the top turn rope onto Cage and squashed his ass. Damn, that had to hurt. And it's been in my face. That had to hurt. It was longer than I expected it to be. Doesn't mean it was bad. It was longer than I expected. And in the end, Brian Cage wins. And then he cuts a promo that was very short and very sweet. Good. Depending if Brian Cage can really talk. And I believe he can talk. But ergo on the side of conservative at first. You don't see Cage talk much. And when he does talk, he should talk briefly and to the point. And oh, Andre, I did see the interview that you did with him. And it was a damn good one, and the guy can talk. But as you know, you don't want to take a chance that this is one of the few times he actually talks. You want to be a little conservative at first, and then you open him up later. That's what I think should be done, and I'm hoping the writing team will do that for him. I'm hoping to open him up more as the time goes on when he starts talking from now. So he says, I want to challenge all of you, since you challenged me, OVE, and I'm going to take you all out at Bound for Glory. Which, unless I'm wrong, and if it's not before Bound for Glory, if it's before Bound for Glory, I think that would be better. Because I want to see Brian Cage do something at Bound for Glory. I could be wrong, and it could be at Bound for Glory, and I don't want to see that. I want to see it before Bound for Glory. And then I want to see what they're going to do about Option C. Because I know that he said in the interview that I'm not interested in doing Option C. I want to make the X Division important, which is great. But it needs to be addressed eventually. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Okay, let's go to the end of the show. And I almost made a big mistake wanting to do what happened with LAX and the fraternity. I almost made a big mistake. So let's do this. Let's do the Impact Championship of Falaba versus Austin Aries. What? Now, throughout the night, Falaba was trying to get some inspiration. He had a chance to talk to the Eli Drake, who's talking about One Night Only, Night of the Dummies. I'm going to see if I can watch that, because I might actually be visiting a relative at that time, so I do not know if I'll be able to watch it. I'm going to see if I can on Friday. But if I can't, tell me below if you want me to do a review of it. But anyway, he went through multiple people throughout the night. He went to the Smoke Show. That, when it comes down to it, the Smoke Show is going to be a question when it comes to Joe, Guido, and Katarina. I know I didn't say that much about it, but essentially, there's got to be something going on between good versus evil with those two. But anyway, you saw him talking to multiple people. He went to even Rick Swann came to him trying to give him some encouragement. Don't worry, my brother, you are going to win. You'll win. You're going to win. Please, Jesus, you're going to win. There's someone in my face. I think it'll be Rick. I got to do that because it ain't going to be my face. But then it did go to a little bit of a Matt Sydal versus Rick Swann. And they're going to have their little feud coming up, which is fine. But Falaba, this was a surprise. I was surprised that they actually went there with Falaba. He's very popular. He's funny. He's comic relief, but he is popular. He's more popular than Guido, sorry. He's way more popular, way more likable. I don't know if everyone else is going to like him, but I do like him working with KM. KM and him were great in the very beginning of the show. Once the A-Team, I'm calling them this. I'm calling Killer Cross, Moose Money. I'm calling him Moose Money instead of Money Moose. Moose Money and Austin Aries. I'm calling them the A-Team because that's the best way to call them. Austin Aries A-Team. They're number one. They're better than the Shield, let's be honest. And then you got Falaba and Cam coming out. And Cam, I think this was the best time I've ever seen him do a promo and cut a good promo. He did. We don't see him usually cut good promos, as I said. But I will say this. It was one of the best I've seen him do in a while. And Austin Aries said, you know what? Calm down. Relax. You want my book? You want a banana? You know what? I'm going to give you a gift. Falaba, I'm going to give you a gift. You can have a championship match with me tonight. And that's what happened. And I got to say this. You would think Austin Aries and Falaba would not work. It did work. Yes, the crowd wasn't that hype and loud. It's a small arena. But in the end, it was a great match. It was. Damn great match. And in the end, Falaba did not win. He lost. And then got his ass whooped for his trouble. And they made it really clear. Who's left for Austin Aries to go through? There's only Eli Drake and a few others. And I'm so hoping Eli will eventually get into the world title scene again because the guy is damn good and awesome. I enjoyed that match. I enjoyed this. And now, let me see if I'm forgetting anything. I don't want to forget anything. But it is now time. Oh wait, the Josh Matthews and Johnny interview was okay. And it's hyping it for Bound for Glory. Fine, that's good. I don't know what they're going to do about Eddie Edwards, but it is good what they did with that. I'm just mentioning quickly. Now, this is what matters the most of this show. Yes, that match was good. But let's be honest. This is more important. A heel with balls. Something you don't see. Now, I do not know if everyone's going to feel comfortable about what Kingston or King said. Now, I will elaborate, but I am going to defend it. I'm going to explain why. Now, you got LAX versus the Fraternity. As I said earlier, well, I almost messed up and did it earlier. The match was a good one, but I believed it was way too long. And I was waiting for the OGs to come out. I felt that this match didn't need to be that long. It should have been a squash match, to be honest. I'm not saying that the Fraternity isn't a good tag team, but you got one of the most hottest feuds that wrestling has right now. From a tag team, mind you. A tag team, not individuals, a tag team. A faction versus a faction. You don't have it this good. And in this case, I thought it was a little too long to match. I'm not saying it was a bad match. It was good, but it could have been shorter. Then King finally came out. And they did show a video package before explaining what happened in the last couple of weeks, which was fine. But once King came out, Kingston, at this moment, shined. Made anybody in the last 2 or 3 months who had been doing promos who are at his level look like a joke. Because he blew them away. Let me elaborate. He got into the ring after he said, this is a joke. A truce from people who don't even make any damn money. I'm making them some damn money. But come on, come get me. Come on, come on. You know what? Let me say this. I regret one thing. I don't regret screwing you. I don't regret screwing these guys. I don't regret taking money from you. I don't regret beating the crap out of you. Only thing I regret is I didn't kill that kid with the car. And then once everyone heard that and they started booing, once Conan had to be held back because he was holding back Santana and Ortiz. But once he heard that, they had to hold him back. And Kingston took off his clothes. He was wearing a just shirt. He took off his bandana and he said, hit me! Hit me! Do it! Where's your balls? Hit me! After it was over, they just faded and ended it there. That, I gotta say, is one of the most powerfulest promos that has been seen in years. In years, in a politically correct world. Understand this. This is a politically correct world where social media will destroy you if you say something they don't like. Either 1 year ago or 10 years ago. If it was quarterly internet, it will come back to bite you on your freaking ass. In this situation, we are looking at where there could be some backlash, which I hope there isn't, but I'm sure there's going to be. I'm defending this. You know why? This is no different from Game of Thrones. This is no different from Brothers of Anarchy, from The Walking Dead, or any other show that exists. The only difference is it's pro wrestling and not regular operatic television. If you care about soap operas, you know they can go that far with a fake gun and throw someone in a coma for 7 freaking years, like in that, what is it, Guiding Light? My mother used to love the Guiding Light. There was a person in a coma just laid in the bed every week for 2 years until they came out and told everyone that they were put into that by somebody else and they wanted to kill that person. What is the difference between what he said and that person in the bed for 2 years who finked on the one who tried to kill them in the first place? Nothing. This is television. If you get offended by it, think about it. This is something you don't see much in television for wrestling. A real drama. And as much as I know a lot of people love high-flying wrestling, grapple wrestling, maybe psychology, storytelling to go with it is highly important. Without it, it means nothing. And this segment was the best I've seen from any company in years. That when they gave the green light to Kingston to say, I regret not killing the kid, that was their moment to tell people, Impact, come to us. Because we care about giving you something better than the WWE. Now, mind you, there's going to be backlash. I'm sure of it. And for me, I'm sure if anyone sees this, they're going to say, dude, you can't say that. You can't say a kid getting almost killed by, even if it's fake. It's wrong. Dude, this is wrestling. Back in 1983, Roddy Piper hit Superfly Jimmy Snuka in the head with a freaking coconut and everyone was insulted. Hell, when Marty Jannetty and the Shawn Michaels, HBK himself, when they broke up and Marty got screwed and he, I believe if I'm right, he got thrown through the barbershop window. Once Shawn Michaels finally said, F you, I'm done with you, and beat you up and throw him through the window, everyone was insulted. The one thing that people tend to forget, storytelling can draw a person in and make wrestling mean something. It is not about if it's reality. It's about if it's a good story to make it interesting. Do you actually think the story between Ronda Rousey and Alexa Bliss is an interesting story? No. The only reason Charlotte's story is interesting is because how they treated Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is the good guy in this. Charlotte is the bad guy, and to be honest, the WWE is the bad guy as well, because you're going to let Charlotte, who had been gone for 2 months, go away to get her breasts repaired and probably increased in size a little bit, come back, and the moment she comes back, she gets a title opportunity and wins. No, that's not right. In real life, that's wrong. Because they did it not because she was that good, it's because she was a freaking Flair. In this situation, that's none of that. This is about the merit of the story and the people in it. And you know, I don't really care about Conan. Conan's not my favorite character. I always felt for the last 2 years that he put himself over more than Ortiz and Santana. But in this case, this is not about him. This is about the group. And he's doing his part well. And I'm saying this is one of the best promos I've seen all year. And that's saying a lot. Especially with Samoa Joe's story time on Tuesday. And he's a damn good heel. But this is a heel with freaking balls. But this is my point of view. You guys tell me below. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.